I posted on WebCT, I believe I posted it, was about International Mother Tongue Day, which was... I knew I wanted to be an anthropologist when I was 12. I was sitting in social studies class in grade 6, and what the teacher was saying was so interesting. I kept the notebook from that year of grade 6 social studies, and if I remember back to the pages, it was about how they made their living and their customs and the food that they would eat. I had taken languages all through high school, French and Spanish, and I really loved learning those, and so I wanted to learn lots of other languages. My first year at university, I took anthropology, and then the linguistics portion of my first anthropology class really interested me. Most recently, I went to Papua New Guinea, where I was able to learn both the indigenous language of Kala, but also the pidgin language, Tokpisin, which is the national language of Papua New Guinea. When I came back in the fall, I taught a course that was on pidgins and creoles, which are new languages that have been merged together, and also created languages. That's how I got interested in the language of Navi. I did an online survey this summer learning who Navi speakers were, and it really went worldwide. So Navi was created for the movie Avatar, and it was created by a linguist named Paul Frommer. Media interest also was quite large. There were stories in CTV, online, CBC, I was on the radio, I was in newspapers all across Canada. The Globe and Mail picked it up, it was on their inside cover page. I've also included social media into my classes through trying to raise awareness about endangered languages. This is a good size for the font, so I think people will see it nice. And then you have a YouTube video embedded, right?
Yeah.
A project I assigned my students was that they could raise awareness in some way through social media, through blogs, websites, various other things where they could share their knowledge about the language too, which is, are the sounds similar to English? Or blogging has benefited the students immensely, especially one student who was working on the Ainu language, Shelley. And Shelley's blog was found by other individuals who are also working on Ainu language, and they at first were questioning her about what her blog was about. Shelley really developed as a student through that because she was able to answer their questions and understand where they were interested in it and how they could work together. And her paper really developed in her blog because she was able to reference these other individuals who were looking at her blog. And so the whole project really came together through that interaction that was happening all online. Social media is important to my research because with the Navi community, I wouldn't have been able to do the research unless I was online, because it was through their forums, it was through using things like online surveys that I was able to get in touch with them. And then for the students as well, it was really important for them to share their knowledge with the world through the blogs that they were doing, and that they could realize that this is not just something they're using in the classroom, that they can apply that into the outside world of UBC.
Well, it's closer, I would say, to French.
Okay.
And so that's why I decided to look into this, because I thought it was really cool. Since I learned French before that.
The communities that I work with, they're often minority communities, whether they're minority indigenous communities or the Navi speakers being a minority language community as well, and so they're often ignored. If some way my research can help them gain some more attention, then that's really what I'm looking to do, is raise awareness about language diversity in general, in my research, in my teaching, in my media stories. That's really what my focus is.